Early in the year, Richard Ojeda decided that he had no real chance of becoming president, so he abandoned his campaign well before he got anywhere close to the debates. He said that he couldn't, in good conscience, ask working people for money when he knew that that money would ultimately prove to be wasted. Eric Swalwell, a corporatist and someone who is pretty damn slimy, was actually the second person to come to the realization that he had no chance in a crowded field when he is one of the least talented people in that field. This is not an accomplishment to figure out that you're out of your depth. However, I guess in today's world where the hubris of wealthy and well-connected people knows no bounds, this is a philosophical achievement on par with something done by Marcus Aurelius. So, congratulations to Eric Swalwell. You did well. You figured it out that you are not presidential timber and that you certainly won't be president in 2020. I don't think ever, but certainly not in 2020. This will have a couple of consequences. First, other candidates now have cover if they too want to drop out of the race. You don't want to be the first. I don't think many of them considered Ojeda legitimate because he is so anti-establishment and a little bit out there. I mean, I like Ojeda, but I don't think anyone would deny that he's a little out there. Swalwell, though, is a sitting congressman. He is well connected with many people in the party, and he is a corporatist to the core. There's nothing progressive or really that controversial in his slate of issues, at least in regard to how other Democratic officials view him. That being said, there is one other major positive impact of Swalwell leaving the race, and that is his stance on guns, which could have been devastating for the Democratic Party. In the first debate, he literally proposed going door to door and collecting what he calls assault weapons from gun owners. I don't need to tell you, but that would be completely and totally disastrous if enacted. It would cause a problem magnitudes of order worse than what it is seeking to solve. Social unrest would shoot through the roof. Many of the police officers and gun owners involved in these confiscations would be shot, killed, or wounded. Trust in the government would decline precipitously. The consequences would be very negative, and also it might destroy the Democratic Party, or at least badly undermine it, and then give us another president as bad or worse than Donald Trump. Not to mention, but to backtrack from actual implementation, let's just look at the campaign. If Swalwell's position became the mainstream position for the party, and he had every intention of pushing the other candidates to his position, what would happen is that the NRA would raise record amounts of money. And people who are somewhat moderate, there are a lot of moderate voters in the middle of the country, they tend to be a little more socially conservative, but a little bit more economically liberal, so they can be won over by Democrats who have a good message. Swalwell has no economic message at all, and then he basically takes a big piss on their social values, such as gun ownership. If Swalwell had been nominated, I don't know how that would happen, but if he had been nominated, the map would have looked like 1988 all over again, where Dukakis won one or two states. Swalwell is fundamentally unelectable. I don't even know how the hell he made it to Congress, honestly. Who voted for this guy, really? Who chose this guy over Pete Stark? What the hell were they thinking? Anyway, so the Democrats literally did dodge a bullet, and so did many law enforcement officers and gun owners. So we should all be thankful, and we should say a fond farewell to Eric Swalwell, and then hope that we are never forced to hear his name or see his face again. So, here's hoping.